Hello there, this is Deborah. I'll be sharing with you my life story, a dream that I had, an inner dream that I had back in 2005, and I acted upon that dream. I was in Haiti, Port-au-Prince at that time, when I had that dream. Um, the country was so unstable for me at that time. It was terrible, but now it's worse. So I was in my sister's house, and like I said, and one of my video earlier, that I grew up without parents. So I was, given away at the age of 7 or 8. So I was in my sister's house. There were no food really. I was living on lollipops and water. So I was so hungry. If I eat one meal a day, there were no hope that I'll find lunch or dinner. There were no such thing like this. So I got so desperate. And I remember some days I wake up, I was crying because I couldn't find food. And I was so hungry, there were no food. And I said that I don't want to live a life like this. For all my life, I've been trusting and believed there was a God. And I see this. In reality, I was like, where is that God? Where is that God that not even care for people who is hungry? So I decided that that wasn't alive to be living, right? Then I made up my mind and I said, I will give myself one more year to live. If nothing changed for me, I will definitely out of this world. And I went from that state of mind of desperate to a worse state of mind. But at this time, from the worst state of mind, I was calm, in a sense that I made up my mind I was gonna live one more year in this miserable place, and then that's it. So I was gonna be out of life. You understand what I mean? So I spoke to my sister, and I didn't want them to be worried one day if they don't see me, if I disappear. And I spoke to her, and I tell her that, sister, this is what I'm thinking, and I feel like I just don't want to live anymore in this situation. And the reason that I told you, I said, the reason that I'm saying this to you is just because I don't want you to be worried, thinking later if you don't see me again in the house, thinking that, that I get kidnapped or somebody shot me outside. Nothing like this. I just don't want you to look, after me and worry yourself just if you don't see me. But this thing will happen at the end of the year, not now. Nothing to be worried. We were at the beginning of 2005. Then my sister was worried about, the thinking that I have. She was trying to convince me things gonna change. Don't just don't give up in life. I was like, okay, don't worry, sister. And so she was working at the time, and she um, you know, commented those thing to her coworkers, and people be showing in the house, and talking to me and help me to see the world differently and thing. And I was just like, okay, I listen. Didn't want to be mean to people. Of course not. I listened to them, but I made up my mind. So, and one day, to make the story short, because, one day, they have annual prayer. That was Catholic church prayer, which I never been a Catholic in my life. And my sister decided to invite me to this 3 days prayer. And I said, I don't want to be part of church, and I don't want to, not because I didn't say I don't want to be part of church. I say I don't want to believe in God. I don't want to talk to that God. I mean, it's fine if you want to believe, but me, I decided I don't want to believe, and the God that I'm hungry can't even find food. So I just, no, please, I don't want to waste my time. But she was that prayer, it was about to start. And it was, we were talking, when she was talking about the prayer, it was like we were in on the month of January or February, and the prayer will start on April. So she was trying to convince me, I will buy you the ticket, I will pay for your fare, the trip, all those things, so you don't have to worry. I was like, okay, I'll think about it. I'll let you know. But yes, definitely, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna give God one more chance, one more try. I'm just gonna believe in Him one more time, and that's it. And I said, sis, I will go to the prayer. And then she said, yeah, I'll buy you the ticket. So I decided to act upon faith that I was going to give God one more try. I got a piece of paper, and I wrote on that piece of paper 3 things that I want for Him to answer. And the first thing that I wrote down, it was, I want to get out of Haiti. And I don't know, I don't have any specific country. I don't have anybody anywhere. I don't know, but I just want to get out of this country. I want you to get me out of this country. That's my first one. The second one, I want to be married. I want to find a man to be married, but that man had to get me out of the country. That's my second one. And the third one, I want to have a business outside of the country. It's everything plain outside of the country. Nothing in Haiti. I went to that. The time comes, I went to that prayer. Before I get into the building. At that time, it wasn't a building. It was a big terrain that they have. It was they put fence all around it, but it was plain, like there were no chair or anything. It just, you have to carry your chair or your blanket, whatever you want to carry, to sit on the floor, be comfortable there. And I carry a blanket with me so I can sit on the floor. So before I get in, they check everybody ticket, and in front of, I mean, there were a lot of people. I'm telling you that probably 10,000. I don't remember, but there were a lot of people. I can't tell you exact number, but there were a lot of people, and this annual thing. So I went in. Before I get in, while that the gentleman was checking my ticket, and I get the piece of paper that I had, and I raise my head up to the sky, and I say, God, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna step into this place with 3 requests that I have, and I will not leave this place without an answer. I mean, it was, for me, it was only me. I didn't care about nobody else, and watching, it was me. I had a meeting. I had a meeting with God. I just want to trust God one more time, one last time, and it was all about me. So I went in for the first time, being in Catholic environment. They were talking or praying Mary and Jesus, whoever they were praying. I didn't care, because I just, like, all on my mind that I'm just talking to God. I didn't say the prayer of Mary, because I didn't know anything about those those type of prayer, but I was talking to God in the back of my mind. I sat down on the floor with my blanket. I was talking to God and said, God, this is my situation. This is what is going on. And this is my 3 requests that I have. And I believe every single day, it's 3 days, I believe every day that I receive one. And I'm not leaving this place without an answer. So, the first day, they have to set up everything. I didn't really feel anything. I was desperate, but I didn't really feel like, that's what's going to happen, or the environment wasn't like, getting to my blood, or I'll say that getting to my, activated me yet. And the day passed, and I went back home. So the next day, the second day, I decided I wasn't gonna go back home. I was gonna stay on that place, sleeping on my blanket until God answered my prayer. And definitely, I carried an extra clothes with me, and I the next day I went back, and I stayed there, and I was talking to God desperately, and I was like crying, and I just tell him everything about my life. I know that he already knows me, but I just like remind him all the time, all the things that I've been through, and what I need him to do now, because I was tired of living this life over and over, going through all those drama in my life without, and I was like, I want you to do something now. It's gonna happen now. If you want me to believe on you, you're gonna have to step in and do something. And I'm telling you, I didn't care about people listening to my conversation. It was all about me. The conversation was all about me and God. I was sitting around a lot of people. I didn't care. I was that I need an answer. So what I did that day, after the prayer was over at 6:00, and I went in and prepared my blanket, I just lay down and ready for God to talk to me. And then I fell asleep. And I had a dream. On that dream, I saw 2 gentlemen. Both were on my right side, and the one closer to me was saying to the other friend, "This is Deborah," this is the girl that I'm gonna travel with. I'm taking her out of the country. Let me tell you, my listeners, or people who are watching me, I went in, when I wake up, I went crazy. I was yelling in a sense, I was so excited that I received an answer. It's just a dream. I had a dream. I was like, oh my God, I had a dream. This is true. It's gonna happen. Oh, let me tell you. Remember, I told you in the beginning, no family and other places. I only had one auntie, to tell you. I had one auntie, the auntie that I was living with. In the previous video, I told you that I was living with my one auntie, and she was in New York City, living in New York. But that auntie was on her deathbed, waiting to die. She was dying with cancer. So there was no hope that that auntie will bring me to America. Nothing like this. And I didn't have in mind that I was going to America. I wanted to get out, but I didn't know where I was gonna landing. It was like, I want to get out. And on the dream, it didn't say that I was going to America or the place. It's just like, this dream was somebody was gonna take me out of the country. So what I did, when I woke up, that was the third day of the prayer. I continue on the prayer and, wait until everything is over. Then I went home. I told my sister, the dream and all the experience. And I told my sister, let me tell you something, sister. I want to renew my passport. My passport was about to expire 1 month. It was that I said, I want to renew my passport. I believe that this is going to work out for me. I'm going to renew my passport. I went in and my sister gave me the money and I went and renewed my passport with the hope that it's going to happen. But guess what happened? I met someone a week prior to the prayer. I woke up in the morning. That was a usual thing that I do. I wake up in the morning cleaning, sweeping the front of the house, and then a week prior to that prayer, I met a gentleman out of blue. I didn't know where he come from, anything. He was passing by or walking by, and then he stopped and say good morning, young girl, and he was conversing with me and asked me for food. And I say, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. And I say, there's no food at this time, it's too early. But yeah, later we'll do something. But thanks God that day there was some food, So he said, what are you gonna cook for breakfast? And I said, I'm gonna make spaghetti. He said, oh, good. Do you know how to make spaghetti? I said, yeah. So he said, I will come back. Tell me at what time the food gonna be ready. I said, the food gonna be ready around 8 o'clock. He said, I will come back for the food, okay? Remember, I'll come back for the food. I said, okay, no problem. But in the back of my mind, I was like, I didn't believe that he will come back for the food. I didn't believe that. But, he went on and just talking. I never seen a young girl wake up in the morning cleaning their eyes. That surprised me. I said, well, I have to clean. That's, if I don't clean my house, everything will be dirty and it's not a healthy way to live, right? So I was talking a little bit. Then he went on and to his place. I don't know where he live, anything like this. This is the first time I saw this person in the neighborhood. So, but I wasn't interested about like who is this guy, where he come from, or anything like this. I was like, okay, so just somebody. So the guy come back at 8 o'clock, knocking on the door. I heard the knock knock. When I went in, I went, and that was the guy. I was like, I was at the same time was like on the side if I should open the door to let him in, because this is not my house, and my sister wasn't there, and there were a kidnap situation. But me, I didn't care about somebody kidnap me, because I was planning to leave this earth at the end of the year. It don't matter. It wasn't matter anyway for me. But I was like concerned about my sister. Then I went in. I was like, okay. I opened the door and I let the guy in, and that little living room that we had, and he sat there, and I went and gave him the spaghetti, and he was like, okay. He ate the spaghetti, was talking to me and say, oh, I would like to see how you will look, and long dress and short dress and all those things. So I went on like an innocent. I went and put a long dress, and he was like, oh no, you didn't look good on that. And I went and dressed up in the short dress. Oh yeah, you look good on that. And what is your plan today? He was like, I was like, oh, I don't have any plan today, but I'm thinking I might go to my aunt's house just for visit. He was like, oh, okay, but where is your aunt live? And I told him the address thing. He said, would you mind me take you there? And I said, yeah, sure. So he said, at 11 o'clock, I will come and pick you up. I said, okay. So let's go back to the dream. So when I had the dream, after I met this guy, the friendship was over. Then the week before he left the country, was telling me where he come from. Finally, at the end of the week that we met, he was telling me where he come from. He gave me his number, and he just he told me when I called him on his office how to ask for him in English. I didn't know any word in English, so I was the only thing that I knew. It was like, good morning, may I speak to so and so. And I didn't understand the other part, that it was an African accent. I didn't understand the whole story that the guy was saying. Sometimes I call it just like, talking a lot of things. I didn't understand. When I don't hear any, he didn't put him on the phone, I just, okay, he might mean that he's not there, and just hang up the phone. Sometimes he hang up the phone before me, so I understood that, okay, the guy is not in his office today. So, and surprising, this is the guy that I met a week prior to the prayer. That was the guy. After I make my passport, and he called me, and then he say, let me tell you, I'm gonna do all that I can to bring you with me. I said, really? Let me tell you, I did believe. I just believed that I had a dream, and that dream was gonna be a reality. I didn't know that guy. I didn't know that he was gonna do it, but I believed that the dream that I had on that prayer was gonna become a reality. And then let me tell you, the dream became a reality. 7 months after all those story of meeting the guy and the prayer and the transition of him doing the thing to get me out of the country, and guess what? I was landing in the United States of America 7 months later. And when I get out of the airport, and I touch my body, my head, and I said, am I living a reality, or am I in a dream? And as you can see, it wasn't a dream, it was a reality that I am in the United States of America living a dream that I had. I'm here. And thank you for watching, and thank you for listening to my video. I will keep you posted on my next video. See you then.